this week's project. Destruction of the fireplace.
We visited Megani every day for a week or so to watch him working and to film. Another, more solemn and morose man, Jarabili, was often with him. He occasionally added a figure to one side of the bark, while Megani worked on the other. Because I once asked him the name of a bird in his own language, Jarabili concluded that I wanted to learn Burada, and every time we sat down with him, he dictated a list of Burada words to me. Then, when I arrived at the shelter the following day, he tested me to see how well I'd learned them. He also tried to explain to me the relationships between his family and Megani's, how it was that they were intimately linked, and yet had different rights and responsibilities. The full complexities of this, I have to admit, I found hard to follow.
Holy shit. Is my hair alright? I'm not sure if the breathing mask was really working that well.
Megani didn't work intensively. He seldom added more than 1 or 2 designs a day. Nonetheless, the bark gradually filled with drawings. They were simple and diagrammatic, but readily identifiable. Lizards were not just generalized lizards. One, from its proportions, was certainly a goanna. Another, with a broad flattened tail, was a gecko. A third kind had flaps flaring from either side of its throat. That was a frill. Lizard. Fish could be identified as shark or barramundi or stingray. There were leaping kangaroos with paired footprints trailing behind them, and hunters carrying spears and spear-throwers. A line of small oval creatures covered with short lines were, Megani told me, cheeky buggers. Cheeky in Aboriginal Pidgin means stinging, and I guess that these must be caterpillars, for several local kinds have long hairs with an unpleasant sting. One design, somewhat more diagrammatic than most, dominated the centre of the bark he was painting for us. It was a long elliptical shape with stubby projections on either side, and an interior filled with neatly drawn cross-hatched bands of white and yellow. Megani called it sugar bag, the Pidgin name for a hollow tree containing a bee's nest full of honey. Close by he drew a second elongated rectangle, also meticulously cross-hatched, but lacking side projections. Beside this he added the figure of a man, with his head touching one end of the rectangle,
A lot of dust everywhere. Mosquitoes.
and his hands touching its side. Another man sat beside the first, holding rhythm sticks. Since Megani didn't use any particular perspective, but showed figures in plan or profile according to how he fancied, it was difficult to know if these figures were standing or lying on their sides. I asked Megani what the long rectangle represented. For the first time he hesitated before he answered. Then he leaned forward. "Yolongur," he whispered.
So I thought it would take like a few days, but it turned out to be more like 2 weeks. I have to let this dry for 3 days or so. See what happens. Hopefully the fireplace works. Oh fuck, this camera is heavy. I'm pretty happy with the end result. What's the noise? Is it the autofocus?
"Why you talk so soft?" I whispered back. him secret. Woman, young boys, might be hearing me talk his name. Him long business. I knew enough pidgin by this time to understand that business referred to sacred rituals. Me no woman, no boy, I said. All right, me see him? Pagani scratched his nose and looked at me hard. All right, he said.